Hello, everybody. I am excited to get us started for the 7th day of 12 days of AUTMHQ. I am Michael Ward Jr., President and CEO of Austin Urban Technology Movement. And the past 7 days, we've been having nonstop events, engaging with our community. And we started with a talk with our staff. Then we had a talk with our volunteers and our Automites. We had an amazing game show talking about the tech industry here in Austin, here in Texas, and across the globe. And then we rounded out the weekend with some service activities with one of our partners, the African American Youth Harvest Foundation. And just yesterday, we were walking around the lake, getting some exercise, part of our walk, run, roll for digital equity. And today is our talks with partners. So I'm excited to bring these people to the stage because we're doing great work with each and every one of these individuals, and they're doing great work inside their space as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Allison to the stage. So Allison, could you please say hello to our audience?
Hi, everyone.
Beautiful. Well, Allison, thank you so much for joining and being here today. So let's jump in. Could you please introduce yourself and talk about the work that you do here with AUTMHQ?
Happy to, and thank you for having me. So I am blessed to have the opportunity to work with Michael and his team at AUTMHQ on the United Healthcare Community Catalyst Initiative. And what that really aims to do is bring together some collaborations with various partners, because we know that there's so many doing awesome work out in the community, but we can do so much more together. So you're actually going to hear from another one of our partners later on in this, Peoples, and they have been working with Autumn prior to even the Community Catalyst work. So they kind of brought them to us. But we have been working with the Housing Authority for the City of Austin, People's Community Clinic and Community Care, and went through a series of listening sessions to really find out what folks needed that were living specifically in Housing Authority properties within a couple of different zip codes in Austin. We thought we were going to head in a certain direction, but when we actually listened to what the community needed and what they wanted and were ready to do something about, it completely shifted what we were planning on doing. So that's where AUTMHQ came into the picture and has been helping us educate folks on their digital literacy, but then also tying that into their health, helping folks access things like their patient portal and, being able to ask questions and do telehealth visits. Of course, we know, especially during COVID, a lot of that had to go virtual, and there were a lot of folks that didn't know how to use it or how to access it. And so that kind of left a lot of folks in Austin at a disadvantage. So thanks to the work that Michael and his team are doing and all of the awesome partners with HACA and Peoples and Community Care, we've been able to really increase that so far with about 40 participants, which is awesome. We've very deliberately kept the classes small because we want to get that hands-on attention, because we're learning a lot of folks honestly don't even necessarily know how to navigate a keyboard, things that a lot of us might take for granted. So we learned that very quickly within our first cohort, that we really needed a lot of hands-on attention. So that's where Michael's team and all of the partners have really come in handy. We may not have the same skills that your instructors do, Michael, but we get hands-on and help as much as we can. So
sure.
Yeah.
And I love just the work being able to do, Allison, in a short amount of time, because now we're approaching just 1 year of our collaboration, and we've been able to engage and work with the community exactly where they are. And that's one of the reasons, one of the things I do like so much about community care and the community catalyst program that we have on our side is that we're going where the communities is, right? We're going to their areas, into their neighborhoods, and tweaking and tailoring our program to continue working with them. So thank you for your partnership and allowing us to work together on this.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Sorry to
No, go ahead.
on kind of meeting folks there, because this is obviously work that you're doing day in and day out, right? You're doing this already before we were ever involved. But there's a lot of folks that maybe don't have access to transportation to get to those classes that you are already taking or teaching, and that sort of thing. So this has really been awesome, and your instructors are amazing and really connect on such a personal level with the participants. It's the coolest thing I've seen. Just the impact that they're having, not even just on the knowledge here with computers, but like on a truly personal level.
For sure. Shout out to Hannah and Alejandra.
Absolutely.
Two of our instructors are engaged with our program, with their team. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So then, Allison, what has been one of the most exciting things working with AUTMHQ and with Community Catalyst, but also just in general?
Gosh, just seeing the impact already. Like you said, we've only just kind of gotten started, and already we're hearing so many amazing stories. Like I was sharing, there was a woman in one of our groups, and just sweet as can be, and has a son who is struggling with homelessness and mental health, and she had made some comment about trying to gather things for him, and the next class, Hannah and Ollie show up with a basket of stuff for her son, and she needed an umbrella, different things. Like they're really listening to, again, just beyond the tech stuff, right? But really connecting on such a human level, and we've seen so much already, and so I just can't wait for what's coming. But we even have a woman who was, I think she's about 65. We decided she's about 65 years old, retired, but because of the work that she's done with you guys and with the instructors and the knowledge that she's gained, she wants to go back and get her bachelor's degree at 65 years old. It's like, so that's just one of probably, many stories that we hope to have throughout the collaboration. And just to kind of add to, it's technically 3 years for this specifically, but the goal is to really make sure it's sustainable and that it continues well beyond those 3 years. So.
And that's what I'm excited about, right? I'm excited for us just continuing the work and continuing the impact and allowing us to change lives, right? Like that's what we want to do. We don't want to put a Band-Aid on the problem. Like we want to completely solve it, right? And talk about something else. We want to the next thing. So Allison, I know that we could talk all day, but that is all the time that we have for you today. So Allison, please say your farewells, and we'll bring about our next partner to speak with us.
Absolutely, happy to, because I know there's a lot of other great things, and like you said, I could brag about you guys for days. So thank you so much for having me and touching on this, and I'm excited to hear what the others have going on too.
Oh, for sure. Well, Allison, thank you so much. And now I'm excited to bring Becca to the stage. So I could talk a lot about Becca, but before we dive in, Becca, can you please say hello to our audience?
Yeah, hi everyone. Glad to be here.
Whew. Let's dive in, Becca. So to set the stage, could you please introduce yourself, share who you are and the work that you do on your end, but also the work that we've done together here at AUTMHQ?
Yeah, I'm Becca Bice. I'm with United Way for Greater Austin. And one of the things that we've been doing that we partner with AUTMHQ on is we facilitate a coalition here in Austin that's working to disrupt intergenerational poverty. And one of the key ways that we're working in this coalition is to open up pathways to employment. So obviously fits really closely in with AUTMHQ's mission, and we work with you all in so many ways. Michael, I know you're on our steering committee. Marquita and Alejandra and other staff have been to so many coalition meetings. I can't even talk about it. I can't even count them all. And I know you all are also a grant recipient of ours, because we just so appreciate the deep work that you all are doing and want to support where we can.
Yeah, and thank you, Becca. Ever since we first connected, it just been what else? What next? What else can we do? Okay, what about this? And that's the type of partnerships that we need, because we all need to find a better way to be more collaborative, right? Break down silos, leverage each other's expertise and resources, and continue moving forward. So I love the work we've been able to do with 2Gen and engaging with the families, but then also being plugged in into what I'm going to consider like a completely different ecosystem, right? Like an ecosystem of those doing the work that are direct services, that are engaging with people. Like you and I have done a great job, building that and galvanizing those people together. So thank you, because you made it easy for us to get plugged in as well.
Yeah, of course, that's the goal.
Yeah, definitely. So then, Becca, tell me, what was it about AUTMHQ that was the organization that you wanted to work with, that you want to continue to bring us into the work that y'all were doing for us to have a deeper impact inside the tech space?
Yeah, I mean, I think it started with, we know that you all do what we call whole family work. There's so many other ways to talk about it. But basically you're working with folks and you understand they're part of a household, they're part of a community. They've got kids, maybe they've got people that they're taking care of, or they're being taken care of by someone else. And it's so critical to understand everything that's going on in a person's life in order to be able to work with them, and you increase the chance of the whole household or the whole family getting out of poverty when we do that. So we know that you all were working in that way, and that's why we initially wanted to partner with you. But I think it's also that we know that AUTMHQ is such a leader in this sector, and you serve both as in a leadership role, but also have those close ties with community members. And you really need both of those elements to be able to push work forward, but also be able to make sure that when we're advocating for policy change and when we're piloting innovations, that we are getting at the success that people want to see for themselves in their lives, and not making assumptions about that work.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that, Becca. And thank you for the kind words.
Yeah.
Because I tell my team that I want us to be in the places where our perspective is not being had, right? We're not sharing our experiences and our lived experiences with our participants, with our partners. Let's add to the ecosystem. Let's add our vantage point, the things that we bring to the table, so that we can have a well-rounded solution, right, in whatever direction that we go. So then, as we turn the page and look at 2024, what is something that you hope to achieve through our partnership and our shared efforts?
Yeah, I mean, so many things. The coalition just wrapped up a strategic plan. So, on the, I don't want to say boring side of things, but we're gonna unleash a new strategic plan, which is really exciting. But a key element of that is we've come together specifically around employment with nonprofit partners, with the workforce board, with the city and the county. And I really see a lot of potential with that work and that group, and I'm excited about that. And I also know that I'm working, again, really closely with Marquita and Alejandra on pulling in community voice into that work. And you'll, again, have served as a close tie to community members, and that's going to be really essential moving forward. So hoping to see even more of that in our work this year.
Yeah, for sure. We have a meeting tomorrow, so I'll definitely be there. We'll talk.
You do have a meeting tomorrow, yeah.
Well, we'll be there to connect and just keep it going. So in 2024, we could just build on all this momentum that we've been seeing. So I'm excited for that. But Becca, that is all the time that we have. So thank you for joining.
Of course.
You say your farewells.
Bye, everyone. Good to see y'all.
Beautiful. Well, I'm excited that we had Allison, we had Becca, and now I'm going to bring Venus to the stage. So Venus, are you ready to say hello to our audience?
Of course. Buenas noches. Good evening.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
So Venus, thank you for joining. I'm excited to introduce you to our audience. So please, could you share who you are, the work that you do, and how you are connected to Austin Urban Technology Movement?
Of course. So I'm Venus Piñeiro. I'm the CEO and founder of the Inclusion Plus Institute, and also the creator of Safe Space Plus. I think we're all multidimensional beings. And so, Michael, you and I met in part of my community work as a community builder with the Latina community, and really working towards allyship. But specifically, our partnership with AUTMHQ is in bringing Safe Space Plus to all of the events, whether they're virtual or in person. And that is just so critically important as we work with underrepresented communities in trying to upskill and create digital equity. This can only happen when people feel fully safe to engage their full potential. And so that is the work that really, really excites me, because the information that you'll gather, the people that you bring together are so impactful, and being able to provide that safe space just makes it so things can flourish, and people connect more deeply, people share more fully, they're able to be themselves. And we know that that authenticity is so critical for us to be able to learn and innovate.
Exactly, Venus. And I, as I think about the work that you do on your side, when we do on our side, I'm excited for what we can do together. And Becca kind of commented on some collaborations among different nonprofits, right, around digital equity, around workforce development, around families, etc. But the work that you're now looking to do, we're looking to bring ethnicities together, right? Looking to bring individuals from different backgrounds together so that we can move things forward. So what are you most excited about us working together, for this year, but also for 2024?
Well, I think what's most exciting is that there's so much to do and there's so much impact to have. And I feel like every conversation that we have, because we are both so fully dedicated to bringing our communities together and bringing allies together, then my answer is going to be a little bit funny, and to say what I'm the most excited is about all the things that I don't know that are the things that we can co-create.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I look back at the events we've been able to connect with, whether it was Rethink Austin, whether it was the Hispanic and Innovation Lab that I had, and I'm looking forward into next year of us doing more programming, more events together, so that we can continue to bridge the gap between those communities and have a deeper impact across the space.
Yeah. And I just want to say, Michael, I'm just so delighted to have these partnerships and really be in this work collectively, because you are just you and your team, such a tremendous force for advancement and for moving all of us in that, I'm going to say intersectional, because there is so many different parts of the community. And what I experienced when we work together is that mantra of when the tide rises, all the boats rise. And I feel that's what we continue to do.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Venus. I do want the tides to rise, right? I want all of our communities to uplift one another. And too many times, we forget those that came before us, right? Or we focus just on ourselves and not those to the right of us, to the left of us. So thank you, Venus, for the work that you're doing, because all of the partners here are doing great work. And I'm just honored to work with you all so that we can build and build and build and do great stuff together.
Likewise.
Well, Venus, that's all the time that we have. We have 2 more partners for us to get through. So I'll let you say your farewells, Venus, and we'll transition to our next partner.
Gracias. Hasta luego. Buenas noches.
Have a good one, Venus. And I'm excited now to transition to our next partner. So Eric, are you ready to come to the stage? Beautiful. Yes. Could you say hello to our audience, Eric, before we jump in?
I'm ready. Hey, everybody.
Fantastic. You're good, Eric. You're good. So Eric, could you please introduce yourself and share the work that you do and how you partner with AUTMHQ?
Absolutely. My name is Eric Bird. I'm the president of the Black Professional Alliance, and we are a collaborative group between some of the most impactful Black organizations and Black-led organizations in the city. AUTM is one of those organizations, and we're proud to have you.
I'm excited to be a part of Black Professional Alliance as well, and just seeing the different organizations that have been a part since we've started has been amazing to be able to connect with them, do more programming, do more events, and just really bring our communities together across the board. So I'm excited about that. So then tell me, Eric, what was it about AUTMHQ that was the organization you wanted to work with around workforce development, but also digital equity?
So AUTM has been a part of BPA for a number of years, even before I got there. But personally, I first noticed AUTM in your work bridging the digital divide during COVID and things of that nature. And since then, it's definitely been something that's been near and dear to my heart, because I come from a marginalized community here in Austin. And I know that the history of Austin is to create these divides where certain people don't have access. And we've been disinvesting or de-investing in these communities for way too long. And so for an organization to come and say, we're going to reverse this trend and we're going to invest in this community so that they have this equalizer, this access to this tool that can give them, I mean, the sky's the limit. When you have access to the internet and you have access to tech, you can have better paying jobs. You can have access to information. So that's really what inspires me, and that's what makes me excited about working with Autumn.
Yeah, for sure, Eric. And I just think about the two different events that most recently come to mind was the back to school drive that we did with Black Professional Alliance, and then also the Rethink Austin event. So could you just talk about those two events and the experience that had for the community?
Yeah, the back to school drive was a collaboration between Autumn, Black Professional Alliance, and a number of community organizations. It was held at the Thinkery. We had so many families come through. We had hundreds of families. So it was packed. I mean, if you could see it, you'd probably be amazed. But Autumn was gracious enough to give us laptops and computers to give out in a raffle, and people were so excited. They were like literally hollering when they found out that they won these laptops and computers for themselves and for their children. So Autumn was a great partner there in helping to distribute that to these communities that are in need. Also, with the Rethink Austin event, we were at table. We had the privilege of tabling at Rethink. The connections that were made there were incredible. Autumn brought people from all over the state, from all over the country, and we were able to connect with people who are really passionate about technology and equity and access and other things as well. Really, it was really cool. It was some cool like tech, things there too. I'm not a tech person, so excuse me, but there were like tech activities and engagement things, and I learned a lot. And it was just really good fun.
And for those that were not able to attend to Rethink Austin, no worries. We're going to do another one next year. But it was great to have our activations, have our panel sessions, have our tabling from our partners so that the community there could get more plugged in, right? Because too many times we find out that individuals aren't as connected, aren't making those introductions. So we do our best to overcome that and to make it happen. So Eric, given our work together, we're definitely looking to strengthen the Black community, strengthen all of our allies, and get people more and more connected. So as we turn the page of 2023 and look at 2024, what do you hope that we can achieve together? Because I know there's been a lot of different projects we worked on, but what is one or two things you hope for us to focus on for 2024?
I want to change the dynamic. I want to shift the narrative about who has access and who doesn't in Austin, and support AUTMHQ in any kind of way that we can. In doing that, I think that Austin can be the leader in that space, and I think this is it's pivotal, the work that you're doing. So I'm really excited about changing the narrative.
Well, Eric, I would say that with all the different partners here, we could definitely make that happen. So I'm excited for us to continue our conversation. So Eric, that's all the time that we have. And we actually have two more. So I misspoke. We have two more partners coming up after you. So Eric, could you please say your farewells, and we'll bring up Lindsay right afterwards.
Good night, everybody. Happy 12 days of AUTMHQ. And thanks for joining us, and be looking forward to more in the future. Autumn has a lot of momentum, and the show doesn't stop.
Love it. Well, have a good one, Eric. All right. So now I'm going to bring Lindsay to the stage. So Lindsay, could you please say hello to our audience that are watching live virtually?
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here.
Fantastic. Well, Lindsay, let's go ahead and jump in. Could you please introduce yourself and share about the work that you do and how we've partnered together before?
Sure. So my name is Lindsay McCuistion. I am with Goodwill Central Texas. I have had the pleasure of working with Michael and folks from AUTMHQ as a part of our DECA, or Digital Empowerment Community of Austin group over the past, so many years. And I feel like every year we continue to identify new ways to work together with our organizations, but also in that DECA collaborative to support our community through digital inclusion work.
And I love being able to work with you all through DECA, through our side projects, through everything in between. I've been seeing the collaboration just grow more and more over the years, and that's exactly what we need to see and what we hope to achieve in the future. So So Lindsay, tell me, what was it about AUTMHQ that said, this is an organization that I do want to work with to expand digital equity, to get more individuals out of the tech space? What was it that made you, come towards us in our direction?
Yeah. So I think just like Goodwill, AUTMHQ really seeks to support clients and community members where they're at. Oftentimes we are working to support folks who are really curious about technology and a career in tech, and they're not sure where to start. And I think what's really exciting is we've seen AUTMHQ identify these opportunities and build out their programming to support communities in a very thoughtful and in a way that really allows folks to explore, learn, grow, and those wraparound approaches of not just providing a training opportunity, but then allowing them to use those skills in a way where they're getting that hands-on learning experience so they're more marketable and ready for those career paths.
Yeah, and I hope those that are tuning in, live, but also that watch it later, you see the connections between the partners, right? All of our partners are not just looking at like one piece of the problem, right? But they're looking holistically, right? What do we need to do to provide opportunities for our communities, right? Put them in self-sustaining jobs, right? Give them resources so that they don't feel that they have to depend on other people, but they can depend on themselves and grow and continue to move forward. So Lindsay, I definitely echo right back at you, and you all at Goodwill, is that we wanted to partner with you all because of the work that you do in the community, because you open up your doors and make it easy for people to get the resources versus having barrier after barrier after barrier, what we see so many times in our community. So thank you for the work that y'all do on your side as well.
Well, thank you. We're happy to partner, and I think it's exciting to think about, especially as more and more opportunities come along, especially state, federal government, and grant funding opportunities. We see them coming down the pipeline. Being able to really think about how do we intentionally collaborate and build these opportunities as a community so that we have this village that's ready to go and support all of our folks in Central Texas with digital inclusion opportunities and career paths.
Yeah, exactly, Lindsay. It actually takes into my last question. You did a great segue. So then what is it that you hope to achieve for 2024 through our partnership and through our shared efforts? Is it workforce development or digital equity? Is it social determinants of health, right? Livable wage jobs, right? What is that one area where you're like let's really do this for 2024?
Yeah, I think as we see more opportunities coming down the pipeline, especially with funding from the Infrastructure Investment Act of 2021, being able to really think about how do we, as a collective, identify how we partner together to provide these opportunities. I think that oftentimes we nudge folks in a direction, try this agency or that agency. But the more we work together, I think we create systems of change that really work for our community, and break down those barriers versus putting them up for our folks that have to jump through hoops to find the resources that they need. I think last year we had a really great digital inclusion week, and I'm excited for 2024 and the fun opportunities that we can create for our community members as well. So lots of fun things and hopefully great opportunities coming down the pipeline.
Well said, Lindsay. You made me want to pack up the show right here and be like, that's it, everybody. You got the call of action. But no, that's a great, Lindsay. And I can't wait for us to be able to put our time and energy, right, and our impact together, look at what 2023 has been, and then put the plans in place for 2024 and continue pushing forward. So Lindsay, that is all the time that we have for you today, Lindsay. So could you please say your farewell before I bring up our next and our last, but definitely not least partner?
Thanks so much, Michael. It was great chatting with you. Bye, everybody.
Likewise, Lindsay. Have a good one, Lindsay. Well, you all, I'm excited to bring our last partner to the stage. So Nancy, could you please say hello to our audience, those that are watching live, but also those that are watching virtually as well?
I'm so sorry, everyone. I accidentally clicked out of the
Oh, no worries, Nancy. You know, they say you have to make an entrance, right? So there it is, everybody. Nancy from People's Community Clinic. So Nancy, can you please introduce yourself and just talk about the work that you do and how we've connected and how we work together?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nancy Sanchez. I am the Director of Community Advocacy and Resources at People's Community Clinic. It's a federally qualified health center in Austin, and we work with patients or folks that are underinsured or have little insurance or underinsured, sorry. So one of our goals is to provide high quality and affordable care, but also thinking about our patients and what happens to them outside of, or what's going on outside of the clinic, right? So helping them connect to resources and helping them navigate those resources is another part of what we do.
Yeah.
So a little bit about what I do at the clinic. I oversee our SDOH screening efforts. I work with our community health workers that help our patients connect to resources and navigate those resources, and then oversee partnerships like AUTMHQ that we have with AUTMHQ.
Yeah, and Nancy, I love the work that y'all are doing at People's Community Clinic because y'all are really looking at the whole lifestyle of an individual, right? And thinking about how can we be preventative, how can we be proactive so that individuals don't even have to come to the doctor, right? And I love that mentality because, you know, a lot of times when you're in systems, when you're in situations, you know, individuals are not necessarily doing things for the right reasons, right? You know, they're looking to make a profit, looking to capitalize, right? Looking to exploit. But I just loved learning more about People's Community Clinic and then opening up, you know, our volunteers, our partners, right? Our ecosystem, our participants to the work that y'all are doing at People's Community Clinic. So Nancy, I would love for you just to talk about the work that we have done together. And then please share, you know, what was it about AUTMHQ that said, you know what, I want to work with this organization as People's Community Clinic expand, you know, their own digital equity efforts as well.
Yeah. So as many other presenters mentioned, during the pandemic, we saw a high need of access to devices like computers, access to internet for telehealth visits and connecting to community-based services. So we saw a high need for that. So we ended up partnering with AUTMHQ, which was one of the best decisions that we made. With that partnership, we were able to help 39 of our patients connect to computer devices, internet access, and digital literacy training. Some of the comments that families gave us were that their children were able to complete student homework assignments. They were able to apply for benefits like SNAP, WIC, and other social service benefits. So it really created an opportunity for our patients during that time to have access to the resources they needed, even though a lot of places in the beginning of the pandemic were closed. So I think it was just a really great opportunity that came up for us to be able to do that work with AUTMHQ.
Thank you, Nancy. Because as I think about just our first engagement to where we are now, it's like, wow, you know, we've done some great work together, you know, and I look forward to the future work that we'll do as well, and with the future opportunities that we have. So as I know that you've had your own experiences, your own engagement with us, and I would love to hear some of the personal stories that you have with these individuals. So could you share, you know, what has been exciting from those stories that you've heard? You kind of touched on it a little bit with the individuals that have been able to leverage our devices for continuous schooling, for work. But what have you seen on your side that really excited you?
I think on my side, you know, one, listening to those stories always give you so much energy. Second, I think, you know, for the staff, you know, doing that work, it provides an efficient way to connect our patients to that resource. So being able to partner with AUTMHQ really just gave us the opportunity and the actual resource that we could say, okay, we're going to refer our patients to this community-based organization, and they're actually going to get access to what they need, versus sending a referral to somewhere and not really, kind of going into the void, right? And not really knowing if they're going to get connected or not. So I think that's one of the biggest things outside of, the person actually getting connected to that resource, is having that efficiency and able to work with the AUTMHQ team to get that resource that patient needed.
Yeah, and I've shared this to several partners in the past, even potential partners, that at AUTMHQ, it's a co-enrollment model, right? Like your clients are our clients, right? We don't want to just send people to the void and never know like what services they got, or do they even got the assistance that they need. And we've seen that so many times where people come to us and say, yeah, I went so-and-so and I was supposed to do XYZ, but I haven't heard anything, right? I haven't got the next out. I'm not really sure what to do. And I definitely don't want those to happen here at AUTMHQ or happen within our tech ecosystem.
And if I can add too, I think, y'all were so great at staying in communication with me. And if there was any like issues with communicating with whoever we referred, it was like a constant communication that it was very hard to like leave somebody through, or somebody falling through the cracks or something like that, right? Because y'all communicated so well. And I really appreciated that piece, because things move fast in the clinic sometimes. So it's really awesome to have a partner that was really communicative, and also with our patients, those comments from them saying how much or how well that y'all worked with them was really awesome to hear as well.
Once again, shout out to our workforce development department. There's been several different folks I've worked with People's Community Clinic over the years of us working together, but I'm excited for us to continue that work in the future. So then the last question I have for you, Nancy, is, given the different things we're doing together, what is something that you are excited about and hope to achieve for 2024?
So I'm super excited. We were awarded a grant from Methodist Health Care Ministry. Sorry, I have to remember that whole name. It's a 3-year digital equity grant that we will partner with AUTMHQ to provide digital devices, internet access, and then also digital literacy skills or trainings. So very excited on starting that this next couple of years, and then eventually seeing what other pathways that can lead to. So workforce development, I would love to partner with that eventually, as we go through the years with this grant. It's a 3-year grant, so just really excited to be able to partner with y'all for that long.
Exactly. And everybody, our process is all about removing the barrier, wherever that barrier is, devices, internet, lack of training, lack of experience. Let's get those barriers addressed. Let's get people the skills and experience they need. Let's put them onto livable wage jobs, right? So they can afford to live here in Austin, live here in Texas, or wherever else that where they live. So I'm excited for the future as well on that grant, but also on future opportunities, Nancy. So that's all the time that we have. So I'll let you say your farewells, Nancy, and then I'll close this out.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the 7th day of 12 days of AUTMHQ. I'm excited to be here tomorrow as we dive deep into our next day. So please stay tuned for what we have in store. But also remember, we have other things going on. We have our Merry Merry Happy Hour. And then we also are going to end the 12 days of AUTMHQ celebration with our community holiday party. This will be our 2nd year doing this holiday party at the Downtown Central Library. So I'm excited to have all of our partners, our volunteers, our Automites there in attendance, and we hope to see you there as well. So please feel free to RSVP. You can go to our website and find out more information on all of our events that we have for 12 days of AUTMHQ. And if you do feel so inclined to donate, you can scan the QR code in the top side. There it goes on this side. There it is. You can scan the QR code and it'll take you directly to our donation page so we can continue doing these great events. And last but not least, all of our events are safe events. That means that we have all the information online that if you do want to provide any type of feedback or reach out to us, you could go to our website, scroll down to the bottom. In our footer, you can find our code of conduct. You can find our form to submit any feedback that you have for us. So thank you so much for tuning in and staying to the end of this event. And we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.